Hello everybody, welcome to Just Upright. Thank you for watching. My name is Doc Jane Ruder. I'm a doctor of physical therapy and I'm a certified dementia practitioner. I would like to take time to thank all the viewers and all the subscribers of Just Upright channel. Thank you so much and thank you for sharing this channel to your sphere of influence so we can reach as many people as we can to help them as much as we can. So for today's topic, I'm going to discuss the timeline to get the green card or the immigrant visa. But before that, if you are new to my channel, check out on how to navigate the channel and find the videos that will help you.
Explore the Just Upright channel by clicking on the playlist, and then it will take you to this page, and you can see as of the recording of this video, I have 47 videos currently on how to become a physical therapist here in the US. I also have health and wellness videos, videos on how to become an on-call therapist, physical therapy documentation and other useful resources, and some videos that are inspirational, fun, and practical. So check those ones out. Check out my published books at Amazon.com. If you type GIMALYNRUDER, my books will pop out. If you are a foreign trained therapist, physical therapist, and want to be guided on the step-by-step process on how to become a licensed physical therapist here in the US, this book is for you and it has good reviews on Amazon.com. The next book is Practical Tips for Therapists Prior to Migrating or Starting Your US Practice. This book is full of wisdom for you to be psychologically and professionally prepared before embarking into your US practice as a therapist. The third book is Just Upright, Practical Tips to Improve Posture, Balance, and Decrease Fall Risk. These are for older adults with practical exercises you can do at home modification program, and priceless information that may improve your life and enjoy your retirement years. And these are also for clinicians. I have Clinician Corner here that has standardized tests backed up by research studies and other evidence-based practice that you can use and utilize in your clinical practice. I have planners, beautifully designed planners, monthly and daily planners, 2-year, 1-year planners, journals, coloring books, kids notebooks, handwriting, sports, and various types of notebooks. So check those ones out.
Okay, so for today's topic, just a disclaimer, I am not an immigrant lawyer. This is just based on my experience applying for an immigrant visa and being familiar with the process, and then referencing the information online readily available for everyone to access, and I will just direct you to those online information. But any questions, clarification about your immigrant visa and the processing, you should consult an immigrant lawyer. This is just to give you an idea on the processes involved in applying for the green card or the immigrant visa. Okay, so for the main reference for this presentation, it's from the immi-usa.com. So this is an SGM law group. I am not connected with them. I just like their website because they are reader friendly and you can easily understand what they're talking about. Okay, so for a quick review, we have 3 types of employment-based green cards or employment-based immigrant visa. Okay, so the first one is EB1, those with extraordinary achievements, researchers and professors. EB2 is those with exceptional ability or advanced degrees. And EB3 is a green card or immigrant visa for skilled workers, professionals, and other workers. So most healthcare professionals, nurses and physical therapists, occupational therapists fall under the EB3 or the third preference employment-based immigrant visa. Some can be petitioned under EB2, in some circumstances, but mostly under EB3. Okay, so we're going to discuss some of the steps, not necessarily done by the applicant, but mostly of the employer in order to petition someone, a skilled worker outside the US, to come here into the US with an immigrant visa. So just a quick review of what they're doing and what you as an applicant should be looking for. Okay, the first thing that we have to understand for employment-based green card is that we need an employer. Okay, so you need an employer to petition in your behalf a green card or an immigrant visa, employer-based immigrant visa, unless you belong to these two categories: EB1 green card, EB1A green card, or EB2 national interest waiver. So they can self-petition, but most, if not all, healthcare professionals should have a sponsor, meaning the employer or agency, to petition them with a green card or immigrant visa. Okay, so the first thing that the employer will do is to complete a PERM labor certification process. So just to take note, it is your employer who's going to do this, not you as an applicant. So the first part of the process is really long. It can take 6 to 9 months. Okay, so it says here, once you have a qualifying job offer and an employer who is ready to sponsor your green card, the next step is to complete the program for electronic review management, or PERM labor certification. So what is this for? This is just a process that requires your employer to demonstrate that the foreign worker, you, is not taking a job position away from a qualified US workers. Okay, so your employer will need to obtain a PERM labor certification on your behalf. This involves a recruitment process to ensure that you are not displacing any qualified US workers. However, a PERM is not required for EB1 green card or EB2 with national interest waiver. So the PERM can take between 6 to a year and a half to obtain, depending on whether or not your employer is subject to an audit. So this is the breakdown of the timeline for this first part of the process. The prevailing wage request, 2 weeks. Recruitment process is 8 to 9 weeks. And ETA 9089 application is 24 weeks. Okay, so after your employer has successfully gotten their PERM labor certification, the next step is for your employer to file the I-140 petition on your behalf. The purpose of the I-140 is to demonstrate that you meet all the job requirements on the PERM application and to verify that your employer has the financial ability to pay you the prevailing wage for the position. Okay, so the timeline for I-140 will depend on whether your employer is using a regular processing or a premium processing service. So the regular processing for I-140 typically takes an average of 6 to 9 months to process. On the other hand, if they opt for a premium processing, that 6 to 9 months can be cut off to 15 calendar days. So the good news is that most US employers prefer premium processing, which will expedite the overall processing time. Once the USCIS receives the petition, the date will be your priority date. So take note of that. Your priority date, it simply means that is the day that the USCIS received your petition. You must wait until your priority date is current with the final action dates posted by the Department of Homeland Security. Okay, so the employment-based green card timeline for this stage is dependent on which preference level you qualify for and which country you hold citizenship. Some preference levels have no wait time, while others have wait time of several years. To get a better idea, check the latest visa bulletin. So clarification about premium processing. Okay, so this is an optional service that allows petitioner to use I-140 petition for certain visas to expedite the processing time. So which is typically 6 months, but it can go down to 15 days. For an extra cost, as of the recording of this video, is $1,140. Okay, so but this is a very important thing to take note. However, keep in mind that premium processing can only be used for I-140 petition and is not able to be used with I-485 or any other form in the employment-based green card timeline. Okay, it does not increase your chances of having your petition approved, and it does not affect your priority date waiting time. However, if you are on H-1B status and you would like to reap the benefits of having an approved I-140 filed with the USCIS, premium processing may be for you. Okay, so just a clarification and like a mini summary, the information that I have read to you guys are actually processes that your employer should take. Not you as an applicant. Okay, so the filing of the PERM labor certification, the I-140 application, those are all your employer's part. Now there's, it mentioned the priority date, so your employer should tell you what is the priority date. So there is they should give you a notice of receipt, and OR. It has your priority date, so you have to have a record of your priority date, your filing number, and all those important information. So I'm going to walk you through how to find your priority date. Okay, so if you type into Google visa bulletin September 2021. Okay, so you will have to go here to travel.state.gov. That is the official website, and you click in there, and what you can see here is you go down. So you want to be not the F, because this is family sponsored. Okay, you have to go down here to employment base. So this is the EB1, EB2, and EB3. So if you are petitioned under EB3, this is what you're going to look at. The countries here like Vietnam, you have the Philippines, Mexico, India, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, China, mainland, okay, and all chargeability areas except those listed. Okay, so what does it mean? If you see letter C, it means current. Okay, so for right now, okay, the only one with retrogression or lag behind are India and China. For Mexico, Philippines, Vietnam, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, and other countries, they are current. Okay, which is a good news. Okay, to continue on with the process, so the next one will be file the I-485 adjustment of status petition. Okay, so once your priority date is current, you can file for adjustment of status by submitting I-485 form. The I-485 is the last stage along the employment-based green card timeline, but in most cases, it has the longest waiting period. While actually processing the form takes average 6 months, there is an annual limit to the number of green cards available to each country. Applicants from countries with fewer green card applicants usually have much shorter waiting time compared to those from countries with a large number of applicants. Due to this, the I-485 waiting time can take several months or even several years. Another factor that may influence the timeline is the workload at the service center in charge of your case. Okay, so the adjustment of status is applicable to you if you are here in the US and you have, for example, a working visa and you want to transition to an immigrant visa. So you have to adjust the status from a working to an immigrant visa. That's why it is called adjustment of status. Okay, this is not applicable to you if you are outside the US. So the equivalent of adjustment of status if you're outside the US is consular processing. So I found this very good website that you can look for yourself, and I will put the link down below, and it gives a good contrast of adjustment of status versus consular processing, and you can check that one out and read it on your own time. Okay, the full employment based green card timeline can range anywhere from 10 months in best scenarios and to several years in worst scenarios. Your immigration attorney can give you a better idea of what you can expect. So how much will it cost? Aside from the cost involved in obtaining a non-immigrant visa, which could be substantial, there are few fees that come along with adjustment of your status. So the I-140 filing fee is $700. I-485 filing fee varies depending on how old you are and whether or not a biometrics service charges apply. So you should check out the USCIS for this. And for premium processing is $1,440 as of the recording of this video, but this can change. Okay, so just a general summary: the PERM labor certification on average can take 6 to 9 months, but it can take as long as 1.5 years. The I-140 regular processing 6 to 9 months. The premium processing is 15 days, and again, premium processing affects only this part of the process, not the entire duration. Okay, adjustment of status or consular processing can take several months to years depending if your priority date is current or it is in retrogression, meaning it's years logged behind. Okay, the best case scenario is 10 months. The worst case scenario, it can take several years. Okay, so for my personal experience, I cannot share with you my timeline because I was not able to jot them down. We hired a lawyer to process my working visa, to adjust it to an immigrant visa. And again, my immigrant visa is due to marriage, not employment based. Okay, so mine is totally different. In the past, I met an employer who petitioned me under EB3, okay, employment-based 3, but during that time, it was in retrogression. It was years logged behind, okay? So I waited and waited and waited, and my priority date was not near being current. Okay, so the processing of the visa was way logged behind. I ended up terminating my application to that employer, and eventually found another employer who petitioned me under working visa. So just like, you know, what I discussed, some people made it here to the US fast because their priority date was current and everything flew smoothly during their application. For my case, it did not go well. I was stuck because they were logged behind what we call retrogression in processing previous applications before mine. And the priority date is very fluid. That's why you always have to go to visa bulletin and check if your priority date, again, that is the date that should be given to you by your employer, that is when the USCIS receive your application. So that is the date. So if it is current, that is good because they are currently actively processing your application. But if it is way years behind, then it is called retrogression, and you have to wait for it to be current for them to process your application. So it can take months, it can take years. For me, it did not work out because it was so many months of waiting, and I ended up, you know, just finding another employer who can petition me under working visa. So each situation is unique. It depends if you're here with a working visa and you need to adjust your status, or if you're outside the US and you need to come here with an immigrant visa. There are so many factors affecting the timeline to have an immigrant visa or the green card. Okay, so for your part as an applicant, you have to submit all the required documents being asked from you by your employer so that they can process it. Okay, without you being responsive to their request, it can delay the process. Most of the hard work will be done by your employer. The filing and the processing will be done by the lawyer of your employer or your agency. Your main concern should be being very responsive to all the documents that they are asking from you. Okay, and if you are consular processing, once they receive the approval, they should inform you, hey, we have the approval for your immigrant visa. You have to schedule an interview in the embassy, so you have to secure an interview. They will send you, your employer should send you a packet containing all the documents that you need to bring with you during the interview. And in the packet, you have to understand your contract. You have to know how much you are being paid. You have to know where you are being assigned. You have to know your company who is petitioning you. Read your contract, read the packet, be prepared during the interview so that you will not be denied, or the chances of you being denied is low. If you are knowledgeable of what's inside the packet, what you're getting into, what you signed, what's your assignment, what's your job description, and things like that, then the chances of you being approved is higher than not knowing anything at all. So I hope that this is helpful, guys. I know it is long, but I hope that this gives you an idea on how it is to process the green card or the immigrant visa employer-based type. Okay, if you have any input, questions, or comment, just leave your comment down below. I appreciate all your positive feedbacks, and I hope you share this video to your sphere of influence so we can reach as many people as we can for as much as we can help them out. Have a great day and stay blessed. Thank you so much for watching. Please do not forget to hit the subscribe button below to be updated with the latest video releases. Share this channel to other people you know who will benefit from Just Upright videos. Thank you again and stay blessed.